Welcome to Motivation at Hand. To know is to know how. Make your foot the foot that counts. In New York's embrace, two worlds entwine. Advancement and decline, in rhythms rhyme. Skyscrapers soaring, reaching for the skies. While shadows of neglect in subways lie. In one world's glow, ambitions fire bright. Opportunities dawn, a city's might. Yet in the other, whispers of despair. A struggle for survival, burdens to bear. New York's dichotomy, a tale untold. Two worlds in one city, stories unfold. For in its heart, both dreams and sorrows bloom. A tapestry of contrasts, in New York's room. Perspectives on the doom loop, New York City's real estate, and homelessness. Real estate and the doom loop. New York City's real estate market, especially its financial and commercial sectors, has always been a focal point of economic discussions. However, recent developments have brought about significant shifts in this landscape, often referred to as the doom loop. The doom loop, as originally prophesied by Columbia University economics professor Stijn van Nieuwerburg, foresaw a scenario in which the decreased demand for office space post-pandemic would lead to a spiral of decline in the city's economy. This projection raised concerns about decreased tax revenues, civic decay, and the overall vitality of the city. Van Nieuwerburg's initial warning was grounded in the expectation that remote work and technological advancements would reduce the need for physical office spaces. However, as we've seen, the reality has been somewhat different. New York City's diverse economy, driven not just by tech but also by finance, has shown resilience. The strict return to office policies of financial services and law firms have contributed to the city's recovery. Nevertheless, challenges persist. Budget cuts and a housing shortage threaten to undermine the city's revival. While the city is recovering better than many large U.S. cities, it remains essential to address these issues to ensure long-term stability and growth. The high cost of living and housing in New York continues to be a concern, with implications for both the native homeless population and newcomers. Immigration and homelessness. The arrival of tens of thousands of immigrants to New York City, often without direct financial support from the federal government, has introduced a new dimension to the city's ongoing homeless crisis. New York City has long been known as a sanctuary city, offering refuge and support to immigrants and refugees. However, the recent influx has put additional strain on resources, particularly those meant for addressing homelessness. Mayor Adams reiterated the seriousness of the city's financial predicament, referring to it as a financial tsunami. He called upon the state to assist in dealing with the challenges posed by arriving migrants and emphasized the need for a coordinated strategy at both the state and city levels. It's essential to acknowledge that immigration itself is a complex and multifaceted issue. Immigrants arriving in sanctuary cities like New York often do so seeking safety, opportunity, and a chance at a better life. The reasons for their migration can range from escaping violence and persecution to pursuing economic stability. While New York City has a history of embracing immigrants and offering assistance, the sudden surge in arrivals presents challenges. Homelessness, which was already a significant concern, is now compounded. The existing shelter system, despite its right to shelter policy, has seen increased demand. Efforts to provide shelter, healthcare, and education to these newcomers are essential from both a humanitarian and ethical standpoint. However, this can strain resources further and potentially impact services provided to the city's native homeless population. Balancing perspectives and solutions. The situation in New York City reflects the delicate balance between offering sanctuary and addressing homelessness. In response to the continued influx of migrants into New York City, Mayor Eric Adams has issued a directive for every city agency to reduce city-funded spending. To navigate this complex landscape successfully, policymakers, community organizations, and stakeholders must collaborate to ensure that both immigrant populations and the native homeless population receive the support they require. Mayor Adams stated that the migrant crisis is projected to cost the city approximately $12 billion over 3 fiscal years. He attributed the need for these budget cuts to the inaction of both the federal and state governments, emphasizing that these tough decisions are a direct consequence of the lack of support from Washington and Albany. The mayor clarified that these cuts will not result in layoffs, but acknowledged that both longtime New Yorkers and asylum seekers will feel the impact of these potential cuts. It underscores the need for comprehensive solutions that address the root causes of homelessness, which can include lack of affordable housing, mental health issues, and substance abuse. This requires thoughtful resource allocation, increased affordable housing initiatives, mental health services, and efforts to provide pathways to stable employment for all residents. In summary, the intersection of real estate dynamics, homelessness, and being a sanctuary city in New York highlights the importance of a multifaceted approach that considers the diverse needs of the city's population. As part of the cost-cutting measures, city agencies have been asked to submit plans detailing how they can reduce costs by 5% for the upcoming November budget update, another 5% in January's preliminary budget, and a final 5% in April's executive budget. In addition to budget cuts, Mayor Adams announced efforts to reduce costs by transitioning migrants out of the shelter system. He emphasized that New York City cannot bear the entire burden of this national crisis alone and called for national leadership and support from partners. New York City has responded to the crisis by opening over 200 emergency shelters to accommodate more than 110,000 migrants who have arrived. Approximately 10,000 asylum seekers are still arriving each month. Balancing economic growth, social support, and humanitarian concerns will be key to achieving stability and prosperity for all New Yorkers. The doom-loop specter, once looming near. In New York's resilience, it did not appear. The city spirit, its strength held sway. Defying predictions, it thrives today. In NYC's realm, the housing costs persist. No relief for families, a financial twist. Rent remains high, a burden hard to bear. In search of affordable homes, is what we dare. Much appreciation to you for giving of your time with us at Motivation at Hand. To know is to know how. We trust you will come back soon.